Buckle up, kids. Time to hit the road.
Welcome to Break Check. So should we start with your topic or should we start with my
I
topic?
think we should start with yours because mine can get time consuming.
It can be lengthy.
It's a very crazy conspiracy.
Well, we'll start with mine. Pretty simple. The new Mustang GTD. Have you heard about this?
I have not, but I have heard about all the terribleness that Ford's trying to do with the Mustang, as we saw last week with the off-road version and
Oh, yeah.
how it looks like a Camaro now.
Right. No, this is better than that.
Okay.
I guess some Mustang purists may not like it, but I like it. I said that weird.
Which is hard
I
to
like
do
it.
because you're difficult to please when it comes to Mustangs.
Am I?
I would say so.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
I'm just particular.
You're very particular with your Mustangs. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that you're a purist. I gotta think of a word of what you would be. A particularist. Okay,
Particular.
let's continue.
Okay, so check out this thing.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that image. It's allegedly it's a leaked image of what's coming after the Dark Horse.
Well, this is on Ford.com.
So it's
it is
no longer leaked.
Yeah, this is now official. And Ford is actually saying that it is their track-ready supercar. So they're not even calling it a muscle car or a sports car. They're calling this a supercar.
Is it still front engine?
Yeah, as far as I can tell. It's going to have a full race-ready suspension, a 5.2 liter supercharged V8 putting out, if I remember right, 800 horsepower.
Wow. So is it a different motor than the GT500?
I think
Isn't that roughly what it puts out?
I think so. I think the last GT500 put out around 700. I
Okay.
think it was closer to 700. So this is a bump from that. But I believe it's the same engine or very similar to that same engine.
I'm just trying to figure. They're kind of crowding a little bit with the top of their Mustang lineup because you have a GT350, a 500, and now this.
Right.
And the Dark Horse, I guess, is kind of like a GT.
It's basically a GT with a track package. I think of it as being like the next GT350,
Yeah.
where it's like the average person's race car. This is supposedly going to be $300,000.
Nope.
No?
For 300 grand, I can buy something that I like a little bit more. I like this. I think there's things that I love about it and things that I don't love about it. That image looks like the Nissan GTR.
Yeah, that image I don't think is very flattering.
It's like a GTR Porsche hybrid thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
The lighting on that creates a lot of different deals. Like the front fender to that green line
Right.
looks like a Viper. The
I
roof
can
line
kinda
looks
see
like a
that.
Porsche,
Yeah.
and then the overall, because of the lighting, looks like GTR.
It's a lot happening in that
There's a
image.
lot happening.
But yeah, so I don't know, but
Not for 300. That's the kick in the gooch right there.
for everything that it supposedly will do though, like fully race ready suspension, it's essentially a race car that you can drive on the road.
You can get a ZR1 for 150.
Yeah, but is that like a legitimate race ready car though? Like I know you can
Corvette
race it.
ZR1?
Yeah,
Like, will this
yeah.
be street legal?
Yeah.
Or- I'm just trying to think of what are other street legal race cars and what are they typically running in cost?
Well, I know that if you're going to build a race car that can compete on track, you're looking somewhere in the realm of $500,000 to $1 million.
Yeah, I'm talking like that you can buy as a consumer. Like you and I could go to a dealership right now somewhere in the continental United States and purchase this car. Like you could get a used Ferrari for 200.
Yeah. Ford has made in the past, though, Mustangs that are race ready to the point that you can actually enter them stock. You can go down the dealership and buy them and enter them into, what is it called? SCA. The SC.
The SCCA?
SCCA, that's it.
Yeah. You're missing a C there for a moment.
Yeah. But you can actually buy them off the dealership and take them straight to a race event and race them in a competition.
I could do it with a Mini Cooper.
No, but this is like you can win money competition with professional drivers.
I can bet somebody on the way. I know what you're getting at. I was really into it until you said the price. $300,000 for a Mustang.
It's steep. It is steep.
They're getting a little, what's the word, like?
Proud?
Proud? Yeah. Thank you. No, that's perfect. Like, proud of their stuff. Like, we make comments on other manufacturers and other things and other products, just in general. Be like, man, they're really proud of their name. And I think Ford took a huge leap by saying, oh, here's another Mustang. The GT500 was what? How much was that one? 120-ish? Somewhere in the low triple digits?
Yeah, in that range.
And they're tripling that. So is this car really worth 3 GT500s?
You make a good point, because the Mustang is, or at least has always been in the past, a car that was for the blue-collar worker, if you will. The blue-collar worker's sports car.
Yeah.
Well, muscle car. But yeah, you make a good point on that one. Even the base model Mustang is really expensive now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
But like we talked about last week, there's a lot of price hikes that are going on.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
But as a car, I like the car.
I like the car.
Not,
and I want to see it in person, because with all of the venting going on, it kind of makes me also think of the 17-year-old that just got a car and walked into AutoZone and said, give me one of every piece of things that I can add to the body
right,
to make it look aggressive. Just because
I see what you're saying.
But I would need to see it in person.
Yeah.
Because in a photo, that's what it looks like. Like they just throw on a bunch of vents or wannabe vents. I'm sure that at 300,000, these better be functional.
To say, these I would hope are functional.
Yeah. It has to have massaging seats, has to deliver hot coffee. Like, it better do a lot of stuff for 300 grand.
Oh, it's 40 degrees outside. Here's your hot cocoa, sir.
Yeah, hot cocoa. Like some hot cacao.
Basically, the car should come with Jarvis, is what you're saying.
Yeah. The armrest needs to be a refrigerator.
But that's going to add
an ice maker.
That's going to add weight, which will slow it down on the track.
No, you can also channel it into the motor for like water injection. Yeah. There you go. See? I should work for Ford.
Thinking.
I would make things worth 300,000. You're welcome. I just don't understand the logic. And I went back and watched our video last week. And I was like, Richard, you were very aggressive. It's like, I need to just like bring it back just a tad. Right. But I don't understand the logic behind some of the pricing and how they justify the cost of some of these vehicles. I looked at the MSR. So the MSRP of the new ZR1 is about 150,000.
So half,
according to Car and Driver,
half
the price of the new Mustang.
And it's 800 horsepower.
800 horsepower.
So it's the same horsepower.
No, 1,100. Or it's 1,000 horsepower. Remember we talked about it last week.
That's right. Well,
so 800 horsepower is twin turbo. Yeah, and the Zorro is 1,000.
Okay.
But I don't think the hybrid Zora, I don't think it's going to be a $150,000 option.
But even still, though, even if the base ZR1 is $150,000 and is 800 horsepower, that's still the same horsepower in a Corvette, which is a proven platform that has had many years of refinement and getting it fine-tuned. Like, from reviews I watch on the Corvette, it is a amazingly handling car.
And it's comfortable enough to take on a road trip and be a daily driver.
Right. So, yeah, Ford's asking a lot of that GTD to double the price of the ZR1.
Yeah.
They're asking a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go. I changed my mind. I gotta go with you on this. 300,000 is a lot
Plus,
to ask for that
I mean-
Mustang. I mean, honestly, if we were ever in the position to drive the GDR, GTD, maybe we would understand it more at that point. But as of where we're sitting,
Yeah.
I guess that's the conclusion that we can walk away from this is we like the car, but very expensive.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's your topic?
Okay. Lotus and DeLorean.
Lotus and DeLorean. Okay.
Do you have any idea how they might be connected?
Has Lotus purchased DeLorean?
No.
Okay. I don't
So
know.
the founder of Lotus, Colin Chapman,
Okay.
and then you have John DeLorean.
Okay.
Okay. So Lotus, this is very recent. So again, like last week, don't do this whole fact checking. You guys are off on this. I just learned this like last night, this morning. So it's still trying to get it going through my mind.
Okay.
So Lotus had a very difficult time when he was producing and manufacturing all of his vehicles.
Okay.
Whereas people like Ferrari would get government assistance and funding.
Okay.
He always got upset because he had to go privatize for all of his funding. And so he was always searching for who's the next investor, who's the next person who's going to fund my vehicles and research and development.
Okay.
And he was also a type of person he was described as someone who could never sit still for more than 5 seconds and give you attention. He was just calm, go, 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 go.
So yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he gets into this deal where he was trying to find a different way of getting money, and he created a company called GPD, Grand Prix Drivers. And it was a Swiss company.
Okay.
And so at one point, and there's a whole bunch in that realm of his life, but at some point, John DeLorean wanted to create the car of the future, the sports car of the future.
Okay.
And he needed somebody that could design this vehicle. And he reached out to Ferrari and he reached out to these different manufacturers, and they all turned him down. They said, we could do it. Reached out to Porsche. He said, we could do it, but it's going to take us 7 years. And it's going to cost you like $40 million kind of thing. Or 40 million pounds.
Right.
And he's like, well, I don't have 7 years. I promise this in 18 months.
Oh,
And
that's
so,
a
yeah. So it kind of reminds me of the Ford GT, right?
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he reaches out to Colin Chapman.
Okay.
Says, hey, I want you to design this vehicle and help me get this because he really appreciated it. John DeLorean thought that Chapman was like this genius vehicle designer.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because he loved the Lotus.
Right.
So he reaches out to him and they have meetings. And allegedly, John DeLorean also had the same type of personality where they were just very, very, very antsy.
Right. Okay.
And so during these meetings, it took more of their assistance to sort of keep them on track.
Okay.
And encourage this thing to go down, even though both of them wanted it to happen. And they came to an agreement where the John DeLorean would pay Colin Chapman over $17 million. And so he gives him a check. He designs the car. And a lot of people would tell him how much the DeLorean sort of resembled a Lotus, a Spirit.
Okay.
Like in that era, in like the early 80s.
Okay.
If you look at the Lotus, and every time I was seeing some videos of interviews of like Lotus president and CEO, and he would almost look offended when someone say, hey, he kind of looks like a Spirit, like a Lotus. He's like, oh no, I don't see any Lotus in there. What are you talking about? And so they were like this weird kind of like behind the scenes. They don't want to know that everybody knows that they're involved with each other.
Right.
But it wasn't a big secret. So here's where the conspiracy comes in. Colin Chapman, because of the way he was always trying to find funding, was always trying to do things backdoor.
Okay.
He did not like paying taxes. And so he created GPD, a lot of people believe, in a way to evade paying taxes because it was a Swiss company.
Okay.
And so if you had this GPD, the way the money would go into it, you'd have to pay the UK taxes. And someone came to him and says, hey, man, this is tax evasion.
Okay.
And Colin Chapman got upset. He goes, no. He goes, there's a difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. He goes, tax evasion is a crime. Tax avoidance is an art. And he goes, and I'm an artist. So,
Okay.
yeah, so Colin Chapman had this long history in his 30 years of Lotus of being sort of like fishy with his money and how he got money and how he got paid. And so,
okay.
Yeah, and so this whole DeLorean thing comes. He gets paid $17.625 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tells eventually, when they try to go with him for the rest of the designing and the rest of all this, to finish the product, he says, oh, that $17 million, that was an introductory fee to get me on board, because that wasn't for the production of the car. I need another $17 million. And so it created this huge controversy and this big lawsuit, and it went to court, and DeLorean's lawyers brought up these documents that had Colin Chapman's signature and then his financial advisor's signature, and they were like, oh, I don't remember that.
Well,
I don't know. They're like, well, sir, is this your signature? And they're like, oh. And so shortly after this, Colin Chapman took a flight, like a night flight somewhere. I can't remember where it said, but took a night flight and had a heart attack. At 52 years old, had a heart attack in his wife's home. And the conspiracy is that because of all these money problems and people were coming down on him and all these tax evasion issues, that he faked his heart attack and is now living in his 90s somewhere in South America.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the actual article. I'm going to read a little bit.
I mean, I suppose that's possible.
What website is that from, Richard?
This is from thedrive.com.
Oh.
The Drive.
Thedrive.com. Yeah, in December of 1982. So I had just turned a year old.
Oh. Okay.
Lotus founder and
I wasn't born
motorsport
yet.
pioneer Colin Chapman succumbed to a heart attack at the age of 54. Sorry, I misspoke. I said 52. So 54. He went well before his time, and had he lived longer, he might have further altered the automotive and racing landscapes in ways we can scarcely imagine.
Maybe if he didn't keep messing with the finances.
Yeah, it is, of course, almost certainly complete nonsense with shaky evidence, a murky timeline, and questionable motives for those who believe it. Still, the notion that there's an untold story involving two of automotive history's most influential figures captures the imagination, grim though the subject matter may be. So, it talks about the connection, the money connection, the questionable behaviors and actions. And
Interesting.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
A little bit of a history lesson.
But yeah, I thought it was going to...
So what's your take on it? Do you believe that he actually is still alive and living in South America?
Conspiracies are interesting because there's so many of them that can be so possible
Right.
and plausible. And here lately, there's been conspiracies over the last 50 years that everyone thought, oh, you're just a foil hat wearing weirdo.
Right.
But they're coming true.
I was going to say, there have been conspiracies that have come true.
I can't remember this comedian's name, but I saw a guy talking. He goes, you don't believe in any conspiracy theories? He goes, I mean, that's a strong stance to take. You're telling me the U.S. government's batting 1,000? He goes, come on. He goes, I can see some of them being kind of outlandish, but you don't believe in any? I could see some of them being legit.
Right.
Like here's a very quick little synopsis on the thing, and then you tell me.
Okay.
All right. Conspiracy theories don't get much more basic than the whole insert name here, faked their own death thing. But what makes the proposition that Lotus founder Colin Chapman is in fact spending his 90s somewhere in South America is the alleged motive, which involved the legal issues Chapman had with DeLorean. Pretty convenient time to have a heart attack, is all I'm saying. Could the Lotus creator have fabricated his own demise to escape the fallout from the DeLorean scandal. We're not saying he didn't not do it. Yeah, and then I got a couple other little conspiracies that are interesting.
I think that's one that could be possible.
It could be.
Like, I can't really, with the information that article has given us, I'm not convinced that it's
Not.
Yeah.
Has anybody gone and looked for Colin anywhere?
right.
Has his wife spoken about it? I couldn't find anything. It's sort
Let's
of
be
just
the first ones. Let's go.
it's
Find him.
Yeah,
Let's
sort
go
of
to
just
South
happened.
America and find him.
Yeah, but
Of
we need
course.
enough followers and enough funding to get some overland vehicles and go on a Colin adventure. He's in his 90s. I mean, he can't run.
True, not very fast.
Not very fast.
Unless he developed a car that we don't know about. That would be fascinating.
That would be fascinating. Maybe the Mustang GTD is it.
That's his car.
Yeah, that's him bringing it back.
That would be something
Yeah.
too. Maybe Ford is secretly working with him
Yeah.
to develop all these crazy
Could be.
Mustangs that shouldn't exist.
I mean, we already know that he is involved in multiple different manufacturers because he's always been searching for funding.
Right.
It could be. He could be the one behind all of the electric vehicles.
Yeah. So if he was always kind of money hungry, then would he have stayed silent for this long?
If he's getting paid, probably.
If somebody's paying him under the
And
table.
Lotus
Yeah.
is still an operational business.
That's true. Lotus is still around, so
Has anybody
maybe
bought out
he's-
Lotus?
I
Or
don't
is it
know.
still a standalone company.
I don't know.
Jen, what do you know? Is Lotus standalone?
Do
I
you
can't
know-
say.
Do you know what a Lotus
I
is?
If I
say.
tell you,
If
you
I-
might not survive.
You found the information?
Maybe.
Okay.
Owners are Geely, 51%.
Say Geely? Like they're turning into fish?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. I think it's Geely.
Geely. Right, Geely. And whatever that is, automotive.
Atika Automotive.
That one.
Yeah, it's only 5 letters. You can do it.
I'm dyslexic.
That's okay. It affects every 5 out of 4 people.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm not that unique. So who is Geely?
We're getting into the weeds here, bro.
Right? Well,
Let me get to the bottom of this.
I mean, you're
today.
talking conspiracies.
This has been going on since, like, I don't know what, the 50s?
however long.
And we're going to get into this, like, no one's been able to figure it out. In 70 years, we're going to figure it out.
in a 30-minute
this
podcast.
30-minute podcast.
Okay, so founded in 1986.
Oh, interesting. The timeline.
Why is that interesting? Did I miss something?
Because of the when he disappeared, it was founded
Mm-hmm.
right after he had his heart attack.
Oh, it was okay.
Early 80s is when the DeLorean came out. Shortly after that is when he had his heart attack.
And then this company was founded, which owns 51%, which just happens to be the controlling stake
Yeah, of
of Lotus.
Interesting. Let's continue. Get your weed eater out.
Right?
What else we got?
Let's see. It's in China, which is
Okay.
interesting,
It's a communist country.
right?
This is riveting.
I don't have time to read all this.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to say there is a 50-50 chance Colin Chapman is alive in South America somewhere. There's also a 50-50 chance he's dead.
Yeah.
That heart attack probably took.
Or he did fake his death and went to South America, and then he died at like 89 and not actually in his 90s.
That's true. He could have died already.
So he could be dead, but not dead at the time that we think he died.
Right. That's true.
But if we have the means later, we should get overlander vehicles and try to find him.
We should. I mean, I'm all for that.
Right?
Because I've got, as you know, I've got plans here in less than a year to go find my rig to build it up.
Nice.
I've been looking and shopping and learning. I'm probably the most knowledgeable off-road vehicle person that doesn't own an off-road vehicle.
Yeah.
Because I obsess with videos and articles, and I have a problem.
See, he's the off-road guy. I'm the sport guy. I like fast. He likes rocks.
I like fast, but I also like sending fast through a milk crate.
Through a milk crate?
Yeah.
That's
That
right.
holds a sensor that stops the time. Hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
You can tell the story.
So, I had a Mustang at one point. I don't right now.
6-cylinder Mustang.
I thought that was the GT that... No, that was the 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
I've had a couple Mustangs. We were at an SCCA event. What would you call it? One where you go to a parking lot and they set up cones. Autocross.
I thought it was at Strother Field, that one.
Yeah. Up in...
Arc City.
Arc City?
Opposite direction, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Down by Arc City.
It was in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah. We were in Mexico.
Where we film everything.
Which isn't on the rabbit trail. I'm a rabbit trail guy because I'm off-roader. Why does every YouTuber... Mexico, we're in Mexico, Everybody knows. Stop using Mexico. Get creative.
We're in Canada.
We're in Canada. We're in Alaska. I mean,
It's just
make up
because...
something other than Mexico. I know it's right there.
It's
easy.
We say it because we don't want everyone to know that we're actually in the Philippines and you're Taylor Sheesh.
That's true. I am Taylor Sheesh. That's why I wear a hat every day to tuck up under my wig.
Yeah. You gotta keep it, on the down low.
On the down low. On the DL. Sheesh. Moving on.
That's where you got your name.
Yeah.
Speaking of conspiracy theories,
Oh, yeah. I love conspiracies.
I heard that Chevy is purposely slowing down the production of their cars because they saw how much people are willing to pay during all the COVID stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They saw how much people are willing to pay for their trucks and cars. So they're limiting production on purpose to raise the price of cars by making them more scarce.
Cost and demand.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Which is, if that's true, that is messed up, Chevy.
I mean, it's manipulative from the perspective of a business.
I understand.
Their job is to make money.
I understand that aspect of it, but from the side of ethics.
Yeah, from the ethical side of it, but that went out the window so many decades ago. I mean,
It doesn't mean that we shouldn't keep pushing for ethics, though.
that's true.
But supposedly Toyota is doing the opposite.
They're speeding up production?
They're pushing hard to speed up production because they can't keep cars on the lot. And the Toyota CEO tells their dealerships to not price up their cars. So I was watching a video where a guy went out.
It's like no markup.
Yeah. So I watched a video where a guy went out to Toyota dealerships and every single one of them, there was no markup. It was the sticker price, and that's what it was.
Interesting.
And then you go out to like a Ford or a Chevy dealership, and they're all marked up to like $20,000-$30,000.
When the new Bronco came out, there were people showing markups of like $100,000
Right?
on a Bronco.
Right?
It's like,
crazy.
it's a Bronco Raptor, so we're gonna ask $200,000 for it.
Jeez.
No.
No,
It's like, that's not how this should work.
no.
And that's why I wish that whatever government regulations are in place to require car manufacturers to sell to dealerships instead of direct to consumers, I wish that would go away.
Yeah,
That way, that's one thing I like about Tesla a lot, is you can go on to Tesla.com and you can buy a car. And it is the price that it is, and it will get shipped directly to your house.
Mm-hmm.
But Ford, Chevy, Nissan, Toyota, all the other car manufacturers cannot do that because of laws and regulations. And the only reason that Tesla can get around it is because those laws don't apply to electric vehicles.
I was gonna say because Elon Musk is an alien, so
That could be too.
he can do things nobody else is allowed to do,
It's technically because it's an electric vehicle.
which is another conspiracy. People believe he's an alien because of a tweet.
I thought that was Mark Zuckerberg. I thought people think he's
They
a
think
lizard.
he's a lizard. People also believe that Elon Musk is another alien
Oh,
because of a single tweet.
okay. I don't.
And the tweet said this: aliens created the pyramids, obviously. But he put of, because he's cool and hip.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Of.
Aliens built the pyramids of Elon Musk is an alien.
The conclusions. People's legs must really hurt when they make these kind of jumps to these conclusions.
I know. We have
It's got to be sore.
We got a whole group of Olympic long jumpers that we don't even know about. They haven't even tapped it.
Right?
The sources, people. Stop being lazy.
What were we talking about?
I don't remember.
Your Mustang and about a milk carton.
I was trying
Oh,
to.
yeah, that's right. He was trying to
I was trying to
this.
distract him.
Oh,
Come on. Bright lights in his face. I was so close, Jen.
sorry.
So, anyways,
We know what she's all about. Content.
so we
3
were out
hours
in
of content to make
10 minutes.
1 hour. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
That's about the ratio of Top Gear and the Grand Tour. They like 10 hours of content make like 10 minutes of film.
I remember on a past project.
Are you trying to change the subject again?
No, I'm just saying. I remember in a past project that the three of us were involved in,
Mm-hmm.
we would have like full day shoots to make a 10-minute video.
It's pretty insane, actually.
Yeah.
So we were at the autocross, and
At Strother Field,
yes,
which is near Arc City.
yeah,
not
in
Hutchinson.
Canada, and we both were racing that day using my Mustang, and Richard was going towards the finish, and there was it was a slalom, yeah,
just
it was
before the finish line.
yeah. So you did the slalom just before, and then you kind of went off to the side, and then you had to straighten up to go through the finish line. And then Richard came out of the slalom, and from what I could tell, hit the gas, and the back end of the Mustang kind of slid out.
Yeah. I leaned into the throttle a little too heavy, maybe a tenth of a second too soon.
Yeah. And then, so the Mustang went sideways, but it didn't go sideways through the middle of the finish line where the timers are. It went through the finish line where the milk crate was that was holding the timer that you were supposed to go through in between them.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with how an SCCA autocross event works, is they have two plastic milk crates, and there's like a laser sort of deal in the beginning. And then when you cross that, it starts a timer. And there's another setup at the end. When you cross that, it stops your timer. And then you drive around back to the pit and see what your time was. Well, I was not happy with my time because I could just feel it. I was like, you know what? No, taking it out. And so slid right into that milk crate and killed the timer.
He decided that no one was ever going to know their time again.
Yeah. Like, I will crush this thing. It was really for the people because people were getting down and depressed with how slow they were going, and I'm a man of the people.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with my selfish ambition and assertiveness on the throttle of a car that didn't belong to me.
Of course not.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, for anyone who is worried about the Mustang, it was a pretty small dent. It was not that big of a deal.
Yeah, if you didn't know it was there, if you didn't know what caused it or what had happened, you wouldn't have seen it. So it was very low near the rocker panel, and with the curvature of the door, you wouldn't have even seen it.
Right. So, there's the story of Richard taken out of a milk crate.
I did promise him, though, that when I was 12 years old, I promised myself I would get a Corvette. Because at 12 years old, I thought that was the epitome of vehicle ownership.
Right. Not a Bugatti.
Yeah, not a Bugatti, nothing like that. And so I did promise him that when I got my Corvette eventually, that I would let him autocross it as, reconciliation for my actions. Which is probably why I have not gotten a Corvette yet.
It's specifically for that reason.
Yeah, somewhere deep down, I'm like, I gotta wait till Jason's in a wheelchair. Gotta wait till he's old enough that he can't bend down. He's like, you know what, bro? I appreciate it, but I don't need to anymore.
Nah, I'll still do it.
He'll still do it.
Even if I have to strap the wheelchair to the back of the Corvette.
So I should do it before your reflexes go.
Probably.
You still have fast enough reflexes.
Yeah, where I can still drive.
If you have to climb into the car with a cane, I'm in trouble.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I'll still do it.
You'll still do it.
I'll still do it.
Mm-hmm. Use your cane to push the clutch, and that way you can drive 2 feet with a cane on the clutch.
Right? That'd be interesting.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah. You got to take your hand off the steering wheel to shift it. You could do it.
Could do it. Oh yeah, because my hand would be on the cane.
Yeah.
Unless I drop the cane. then I just have to complete the whole thing.
Unless you came up with a contraption, we're going to have to start inventing things where the cane is like strapped to your shoulder and you can just like lean in.
Lean into it.
Because, you know, if I put the right clutch where it's a really high friction point, you just like shift, bam, bam.
Have you seen that there's a drifter out there who doesn't have any arms?
You mean like a guy, like a homeless guy that's just walking around with no arms?
He drifts a vehicle.
Oh. So now it's just like I'm a drifter and just walk. No.
Just kind of drifting through life.
Oh, no. Okay. No, I have not seen this guy. How does he do that?
So he uses 1 foot for the pedals,
Yeah.
1 foot for the steering wheel, and then he has a contraption for his shoulder where he leans into it to shift gears.
How does he use a foot for the steering wheel and still be able to reach the pedals?
It is interesting. I wonder if I can
Did
find
he have the
clip of
lower
it.
half of his leg amputated and his foot attached to his knee so it would like reach right here?
I don't think so. It looked like he had a full leg.
His leg would have to be like knee out the window to have his foot up on the wheel.
Probably. No, it really wasn't that. I've seen the video. It was on Top Gear, actually.
Why not just have a co-driver who pulls your e-brake for you?
I don't think he uses the e-brake at all, actually. I think yeah.
What?
There you go.
What?
And he's good, too.
What? This just makes me angry. I can't take a Mustang with 4 appendages through a coned course, but this guy can drift with no arms.
Yep. Practice.
More power to him. I hate you.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty
I
insane.
saw on a YouTube channel this group that I watched who are going through a course somewhere in Colorado, and they came across it like a 12-year-old kid with no arms that was rock crawling a Jeep. That his dad, they came up with this design. It was like a throttle off to the side, and he can turn on and off his lockers with his toes, and he can steer, and it was incredible. Yeah.
Wow.
Rock crawling with no arms and no legs with a car that's doing all this kind of stuff.
Unfortunately, you can't hold yourself in if it rolls over. I would hope they would be strapped in.
I mean, it's probably the ultimate way of, they say if you're going to roll, you got to keep your arms inside the vehicle. Don't reach out because you could break your arm and
Maybe
rip it
that's how
off.
he lost his arms.
I think he was born that way.
Oh, okay. Well, that's...
I mean, his dad was in the passenger seat and he goes, yeah, my son was born without any arms. So.
Oh, well, there's... Man.
But it could be a cover. Conspiracy.
Yeah.
His dad just doesn't want to get his kids taken away.
Maybe his dad made a mistake, rolled it during an off-road event, and then his son lost his arms because his son was in the car.
Listen here, Luke, if you tell anybody, I'm
They
going to
were
roll
born that way.
I'm going to stick your legs out and roll the car. Yeah. Could be.
Could be. Is that joke in bad taste?
Probably. We can edit it out.
Let's edit all that
I'm
out.
not the editor.
Nah.
Yeah, we'll
Keep
leave
it in.
there.
Keep it in.
I didn't say the names or anything, but people could probably Google, armless kid rock
Off-roading.
crawling.
But we got one other thing. We got one last thing to do. I know we've been filming a little bit, but we got one last thing to do. And that is the Superhero Used Car of the Week. Woo woo!
Okay. So
Jen's been preparing.
Oh, you have?
She has.
you have your wheel that you use.
I should get the wheel.
You should get the wheel. Is it going to be same format as last week when we both have different budgets?
You both have different budgets.
Okay.
Okay.
You're both still here in Kansas.
We're in Kansas.
We're in Kansas.
A 250-foot robot landed in Japan.
The country?
Or is it like? Or
Let's
is it
just say
like?
Osaka.
Or
all
is
right?
it? Or is it
Let's
like
say
the fake
Osaka.
Tokyo in L.A.?
Okay, a robot landed in Japan.
In Osaka.
In Osaka, specifically Osaka.
Okay.
It's destroying cities, and it shoots down anything that flies around it or near it.
That's Osaka.
It has a 100% accuracy. Has a 300% accuracy.
It's shooting down things that comes
Anything
near it?
that flies around it or anything like that. But it does have like I put 300-mile radius.
So we can get within 300 miles of it without being shot.
Before being
Yeah.
guaranteed shot.
Because it has
Exactly.
100% accuracy.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
Remember last week when she was like, "Should I soften this?" I should probably take her up on that.
Right.
You also promised your 8 nieces and nephews you would take them to Super Nintendo World. So you thought this would be a great opportunity because you're going to Japan anyway. Might as well take them with you.
Is
After
that
you defeat
in
the robot, you can go to Super Nintendo World.
Is that
I mean, it's
in
not
Osaka?
already destroyed. I have
Is
no
Super
idea.
Nintendo World in Osaka?
I don't know.
Because if it is, we won't be able to get them there.
Let me look.
Because that's 100% accuracy.
I didn't, well, hopefully you're not flying there.
You're going to have to. It's an island.
There are boats.
This is Auto Tempest.
Well,
Apparently,
You
we
need to
need
find
more
a
than
boat,
auto
too.
temp.
Does Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, is it on here?
you can find,
'Cause
right?
you can fly
Where is
and-
Chitty Chitty?
fly
Yeah,
and be
Chitty
on
Chitty
the
Bang
water.
Bang, right?
So
I'm
is
gonna buy
our
a submarine.
so is our budget for everything like to
Everything.
get there? Like we actually need to get there.
You
Okay.
actually need to get there. Also,
Okay.
you need to buy the tickets for Super Nintendo World.
Okay.
And you got to
Um,
buy food.
Okay.
You gotta, you gotta treat your nieces and nephews.
Good lord,
I better get that.
this could be a
$2 budget.
podcast by itself. Okay,
So you can find a car within 100 miles
I already know what I already
100
know.
miles.
and wherever you
Okay.
need to get to. Because you would probably go to
So we
California,
have to start
and then you
here.
find a boat there. Yeah.
Okay.
Or an
All right.
airplane, whatever you need to do.
I don't want you seeing what I'm searching right now.
Maybe you can hire a dolphin
Oh, I
to
can't
take
find
you
one
there.
of
I don't know.
those. That's
Hire a dolphin.
No, it has to be a boat or airplane.
Has to be a vehicle.
Yeah, it has to be, yeah.
Okay, so I guess we should get our budget. So is that everything we need to know?
Yeah.
I spun first last week. Do you want to spin first this week?
Sure.
Click.
What's the best odds to get that $2 million?
Oh, wait, it's in Osaka, Japan.
So we're not taking the kids. Sorry, kids.
Nope. It landed in Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Oh, so now we're going to Tokyo.
Now you're going to Tokyo, and then you
Okay.
gotta drive to Osaka
Indecisive
to get him to
robots.
Super Nintendo World.
Hmm.
All right. Give me something good. It could be worse. It could be worse. $200,000 is what I have.
200 grand.
Okay.
Do you need a notepad or anything, guys?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Okay.
What am I stuck with? I don't have a good feeling like I did last time. Same budget?
Wow. We both got 200,000.
200 grand. Okay.
We have to get
How are we
something.
gonna? So we're gonna have to.
So we have to get something within 100 miles to get us to where we got to go.
I feel like I'm in like some kind of military school. You got to figure this out and figure that out. And how much are plane tickets to Japan? It's in Tokyo.
The robot landed in Tokyo.
Okay.
Okay, so
And he can go 300 miles. Finish at 300
300-mile radius.
radius. Okay.
does he have any weaknesses? Anything we can do to destroy him within, like, from 300 miles away?
Oh, I got ideas. Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't come up with any weaknesses.
Okay.
Hmm.
Don't forget, you have your 8 nieces and nephews with you.
Yeah.
Oh my. That we have to take from here?
Uh-huh.
Can we just put them on a plane that
Taking them with you.
they have to go with us?
Yep.
I need a bus.
Wow. Do you have any idea how much land is left on Japan if you can reach 300 miles out? Like, you can't go very many places.
Hey, you know?
Okay, so that's how much land you have left that we can go. That's Tokyo, 300 miles.
Oh my god, so that's
Pretty much the whole island almost. About
so anywhere
65% of the island he can get you on.
anywhere in that circle we'll get 100% guaranteed shot.
Yes.
That's lovely. And where's the theme park that we're going to? Is it it's in Tokyo?
Osaka.
Where's Osaka?
So this is, I mean, I can share this information with you.
Yeah.
Osaka to Tokyo,
Mm-hmm.
309.4 miles.
I knew that.
I know you.
Right?
You're so good.
Totally.
Totally. I knew it was. I wanted to get as close as I could without being within the radius of destruction.
Yeah,
Right.
you knew.
Just outside.
9.4 miles outside. So there's so much logistics going into this. We got to get.
Right?
We have to find either A, airline tickets to get us there,
Mm-hmm.
and then ship the car
Right.
via boat
Right.
or aircraft.
I have connections. You have connections?
Yeah, I do. That's actually a pretty good price for 9 people to go to the park.
What is it? $155.
Oh, stop cheating! Do your own research.
We're going to have to pay the same price for the park.
That's if you got the cheap tickets. It comes out to $17.19 per ticket.
Oh, I'm getting the cheap tickets.
Did
Yeah.
you get the fast passes?
No,
You
just getting into the
You
park.
said go to the
You got
park.
to take them to the
That's
park.
true.
You didn't say anything about fast passes.
That's true.
She didn't actually say we need to take them into the park, just to the park. That's a good point. We don't have to buy tickets at all.
But to get to Super Nintendo World, you have to go inside of Universal.
Nope.
We could
Drop
gonna
them
be-
off on
what
an
if-
I'm gonna be
airplane.
airdropping these suckers.
I was
in
going
my
to say,
Yeah,
what if we
airdropping
flew
them,
over?
yeah.
How much are 8 parachutes?
I don't know. Look it up.
Is it
I
cheaper
guess
than-
That's how you're doing it.
Is it cheaper than $155?
Yeah. You're taking one of those?
Excuse you.
Wow.
Excuse you.
Put your arm around your computer, like back in school.
Yeah.
How dare you?
How dare you, sir?
How dare you, How
sir?
dare you first?
The sheer audacity. The unmitigated gall. Okay. Okay. Did you know that Cadillac made one of these?
Do you want to?
Did you know Cadillac made one of these?
Oh, yeah. What?
You'll see it in the edit.
Did you know Cadillac made one of these? You can't see it, but did you know?
Nope. Did you know in Branson that they stopped doing the whole Ride the Ducks ride?
Did they stop it completely?
Yeah.
I know people lost their lives at
Yeah,
because of the storm.
when one capsized.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could always buy one of those on a budget.
Take you about 6 months to get there.
I mean,
Too soon?
What better?
Too soon.
This has been like 2 years, 2 or 3 years.
True, it's been a bit.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Long enough.
It's been a couple weekends. But
Nothing
could you
a
imagine
too
like
soon
what
joke.
kind of a image that would be? You show up, in your amphibious assault vehicle, and it's got this fun picture of a duck on the side splashing around. It says, "Ride the ducks," and and you can name all of your missiles and whatnot ducks, and that could be your catchphrase when you're shooting it at the robot.
Ducks?
Ride the ducks, bro.
Okay, for any government agency who's monitoring this, there's a reason why I'm looking this up. It's not for anything bad. Because I'm about to look up the cost for a missile with a 300,000 mile range.
Oh, gosh.
How am I supposed to kill this guy? Kill this thing?
I think you're getting too specific.
Am I getting too specific?
Just say, I have this vehicle equipped with a 300-mile range missile.
Okay, fair enough.
But hey, you do you, bro. You do you. I will not be testifying on your behalf.
Come on, bro.
Where is the cost of one of these things?
An FGM 148 Javelin rocket launcher is $216,000. That's more than my entire budget.
You know
Wow.
what,
Weapons are expensive.
yeah.
15 to 18 million per ARRW hypersonic. I'm just going to assume that the military is going to help us out on this one.
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Only if you have connections, bro.
Which is why I fight crime with you.
which is why I have connections.
I'm trying to come up with a weakness for the robot.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked up funny weaknesses or funny villain weaknesses.
Okay.
And, well, this one's a hero. I don't know how accurate this is, but one of them is paper planes.
Paper planes.
Paper planes.
I don't think paper planes can fly 300 miles. Is it 300? It was 300 miles, right? Yeah.
Have somebody throw a paper plane at its leg. Boom, destroys it.
Is that what we're going with? Paper planes?
Another one was the color yellow. Color yellow. Let's go with paper airplanes.
Paper airplanes. Perfect. That's what I was hoping you were going to select. Because that makes my plan so much easier.
Okay, the color yellow.
That makes it even easier.
Okay, never mind.
Paper airplanes.
Okay, paper. Another one was the power of positivity.
Power of positivity.
Yep.
I'm positive I'm going to beat you. Drat! Foiled again!
How'd you know?
How do I instill
The
doubt?
third planet today.
I need to instill doubt in my adversaries. You ever done a search for something like drones that cost less than $49,000? That's oddly specific.
I'm glad that I didn't
true.
get the $50,000 budget.
Oh, I'd be done.
That would have been hilarious.
Would have been awful.
I'm just glad that I've never been at a disadvantage like you did last week.
Not yet.
Not yet.
One of these days.
Well, we'll find out.
One day.
We'll see. What does 100 kilograms break out to in pounds?
Let me just calculate that in my head.
What's 100 kilograms in pounds?
100 kilograms is about 220 pounds.
Oh, easy.
So cut that and then I can say 220 pounds.
Will do. I'm not going to do that.
I knew that. No.
Oh, man, I could get 4 of these. Shipping, payments, return. How does the robot's tracking system operate? What does it track on? Like is it like movement or material, like metal or paper, or what is it? How does it lock on? Is it heat signature? How does it?
Heat, movement,
So it's heat?
heat,
Okay.
movement.
So if I had a glider,
Yeah.
of course, if
It's an
there's
option.
301 miles directly above it, you're in space.
Yeah. Would you be? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Our atmosphere is not 300 miles high.
I don't know. I'm a driver, not a scientist.
On the cheaper than him,
On the cheaper thing.
because I spoke good.
So, does Jen decide who the winner is? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
through all
I
this?
guess we could present our plans,
Right.
and then she can kind of decide what's more feasible. I also know how much money I have left over.
I do as well.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Can you treat your nieces and nephews to souvenirs?
I can.
Wow. Will you?
It depends.
Dang.
Depends on their behavior.
Right?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just give
Are
kids
they
whatever
whining
they
and
want.
crying and distracting me while I'm trying to kill this robot?
They're like, I almost got my head blown off. I mean,
Voltron was better. Shut up, Carl! You know,
yeah. Nobody wants that. You don't reward that kind of behavior,
you don't. You gotta raise kids in this dystopian future.
right? There's robots destroying entire islands.
Okay.
Are
You
you
guys
are
done?
you prepared?
Sure. Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Who would you like to hear from first?
Feel free.
Okay. So with a budget of $200,000, I wanted to start with the things that I knew were guaranteed, which were the tickets to the Nintendo World of Resort place.
Not everybody's lives, just tickets to Universal first.
So 9, yeah, 9. Well, it's already dead. He's blowing everybody up. 9 tickets on the cheap, which I could even splurge for the expensive ones with my my leftover budget. So they're at a minimum, they're going to cost $154.71. My vehicle, because I have connections in the military, because of my former military career field, I have connections on taking vehicles over free of charge. Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Sorry, you should have lived the same life that I did.
a
So
shame.
I would request a C17 or C5 if I want to get there slower. To be transporting a Sherp Pro XT. If you're unfamiliar with what one of these are,
Say that's like an armored vehicle, isn't it?
you know what a Sherp vehicle
It
is?
sounds familiar,
Oh man,
but
Sherp Pro XT.
so how are you going to get to the plane?
What's that?
How are you going to get to the plane? Are they flying here to pick you
They
up?
take off out of McConnell. I can ride on my bicycle to McConnell.
Well, but you haven't purchased a bicycle.
I own a bicycle.
What are your nieces and nephews going to be on?
They're already on base.
Oh, are they?
Their
No.
their parents transported them there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll get them an Uber.
I need to be more specific next
I'll get them
time.
an Uber. I have 30, so this is my remaining budget. $38,276.29. I can buy them an Uber. We're gonna Uber to McConnell.
Okay.
If they need to
That's-
fly here, if they don't live in the state, I'll buy them plane tickets. $38,000, I think I can fly them in. From wherever they're at.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Maybe, because it wasn't specified, maybe they're already living in Tokyo, and that's why I have such a concern for their lives. And so I have to go over there to save them.
They're in Kansas.
That you're willing to ride your bike as fast as possible.
Maybe they're
to
military
McConnell.
families and they're stationed in Osaka.
No, okay.
Okay.
They're
It
also
just
in
happens
Kansas
we
with you.
live in the same region as McConnell, and I have access, and I can get there. So, okay. So, transporting a Sherp Pro XT.
Okay.
You have not seen one of these, right?
It sounds
It's an
familiar.
unsinkable amphibious vehicle.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. It can't flip. It can't sink. They're pretty incredible.
Basically one of the most BA vehicles that you can purchase.
Yeah. They can't get stuck on anything. There's I don't know if you're familiar with him, YouTuber Whistling Diesel, who got one of these, and he did everything that he could to get this thing stuck, and he could not. They're pretty
impressive.
remarkable. Yeah. And they carry up to 10 people.
Nice.
Yeah. Transport.
Even better.
Boom. Thinking about it. Okay. So this thing gets transported there.
Okay.
We land in Osaka, 309.4 miles away. We take it into the water. Doesn't have to be water. We take it in the water just for fun, to give the kids a little thrill. Okay? Take it, we stay just outside the circle. Then I'm going to have, you can buy a set for $11,569 of Foxtech AYK 350 long-range drones that can carry up to 10 kilograms each. So
Okay.
I'm buying 2 of those. Kids can take turns flying them. They're going to fly up to their highest altitude of 3,000 meters. And they're going to fly in. They're going to be painted yellow, just in case. They're going to fly in carrying 10 kilograms of paper airplanes.
Did you factor in the cost of the paint?
Yeah, I'm ordering them pre-painted.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Factoring, so they're each carrying 10 kilograms of paper airplanes. Fly over top of this drone, drop them. If he shoots them, he shoots them. We already dropped the ordnance. Paper planes have no heat signature, so he's not going to be able to lock in on those. And the drone is also electric, so unless you're catching the heat signature of the friction of the air over the wings, it's not really going to pick up on that. So I don't know how sensitive the sensors are on this robot. But that's my plan. And then I can take the kids out to eat or whatever with my $38,000 left over.
Right.
Yeah. So Sherpa to the water, drones dropping paper airplanes.
I think yours is actually probably more viable than mine. But nonetheless, here's my plan. Since I don't have connections, I'm going to buy a 2022 Toyota 4Runner Limited
Oh.
in town, of
traveling
course,
luxury.
right? I mean, I wanted to be reliable, which
Yeah.
is why I went Toyota.
Okay.
Wanted to be tough. And then the plan is to stop by Walmart and get 1,000 packages of construction paper, assorted color, 96 sheets per package. I want to have a lot of ammo,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then I'm going to buy, what was it? I decided on 757 packages of model rocket engines,
That's a specific number.
right? That are $99 a piece, and I don't know how many come in a pack. It's fine.
That robot,
Oh, 24. That's right.
the robot's gonna be like, it takes 798. Ah!
Well, it's a good thing you're there too. So model rocket engines to fire the construction paper airplanes at the robot from 300 feet away, which I'm sure is
Miles.
yes, 300 miles away, which I'm sure they'll make it.
They have enough propulsion to get 300 miles.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
It's a bottle rocket engine. I get you.
But in order to get all this here, once I buy the construction paper and buy the model rockets, I am going to take my Toyota and I'm going to drive to go buy a 2018 Christie hovercraft.
Those are pretty sweet.
So the kids on the way, they're making all the paper airplanes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm creating a production.
How many
Production
passengers can
system.
fit in a Toyota 4Runner?
I couldn't find that information, but it's an SUV, so they can
Yeah,
sit in the back if they
three
need
rows.
to. I think we can make it work. And then the hovercraft seats up to 10 people.
Nice.
So we're good there. And then take the hovercraft, tow it because it comes with a trailer.
Mhm.
By the
What are you towing it with?
the 4Runner.
Does the 4Runner get shipped over?
No, I'm taking the 4Runner to the coast, in which I'm gonna get into the hovercraft. We're all getting into the hovercraft. I'm gonna take it over the sea.
Are you buying the 4Runner in Japan or here?
Here,
How
it's
are, you
local.
how are you getting it to Japan?
I'm not taking the 4Runner to Japan. I'm taking the hovercraft to Japan.
Oh, so you're towing that to the coast and taking the hovercraft from the American coast
Yes.
to the Japanese coast.
Yeah. So the 4Runner is just to get me and my nieces and nephews to the hovercraft to tow it to the coast, and
Are you putting a sail on the thing?
it's got an engine.
Yeah, how much fuel can it hold and what's its range?
I'll take gas cans.
So I was wondering.
It's all good.
I'm not putting holes in your plan, I'm just asking.
Don't worry about it. It's very, very fuel efficient.
I'm gonna use hair from my back and lasso
Burn
some
it.
sea turtles, and they're gonna pull me all the way to Japan.
I mean, it goes over 40 miles an hour on water.
Okay.
Well, I guess in general, because water, land, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get there eventually. And then, like I said, as the production of the paper airplanes are being made during this whole journey, when we get there, we will approach the circle and we will launch our attack. And then, of course, go to the park.
You're gonna launch your attack from the hovercraft?
Why not? Just curious. Yeah. Or we can just stand outside and, light the model rockets, aim. Kind of thing. I think it's a good plan.
Just so you know what sort of nautical trip you're in for.
Uh-huh.
The coast of California to the coast of Japan is the shortest distance to get to Japan,
Good to know.
to go from California.
Good to know.
It's 5,150 nautical miles. On a sailboat, it would take you anywhere from 30 to 60 days to get there.
Everyone's already dead anyways.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know what you're in for. You're gonna have 8 nephews and nieces.
Well, yeah, so there's
5,150
there's
nautical miles.
there's 9 of us. It can hold 10 people. So one seat
Hey,
it's going to be a
You're gonna
gas
get
can.
hungry, and you got lots of food on board.
But it's okay. I got $12,382 left over to buy food.
Yeah.
And
What's
You
the
can
weight
go
capacity?
fishing in the ocean
yes.
Yeah.
There
Uh-huh.
you go. See?
if you
I'm
catch
just saying,
something.
and worst case, you kill the kid,
Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
A kid
or-
died.
or they.
I'll buy a water distiller so we have water.
They died from dysentery.
You shut that yap, or you're going down just like your brother. Don't think I won't do it.
Hey, I don't have military connections, okay? This is my option.
Hey, I'm just thinking logistics, man.
That's fair.
All right.
So who has the better
This is
plan?
I'm worried about your bottle rockets. Even
No, the
hitting
model
road.
rockets are brilliant because they move fast, and
And
you
I
won't
wa-
see them coming.
And I worry about the gas for your hover vehicle.
That's why it's a 10-seat vehicle for 9 people. The 10th seat is going to be a gas can.
But
Just
at least
a
they get
really
to-
big gas can.
At least they get to go to Super Mario
What
World.
if
Exactly.
you outfitted it with some sort of like paddle system and all the kids had to pedal?
Ooh, even better.
There's like paddles on the back, like a old school riverboat.
Your legs are
See?
gonna die.
No, that's why I got $12,000 worth of food on this
You know-
thing.
Okay, well let's hear what the judge has to say.
I'm gonna. I'm
There's
sorry.
worries
I'm
on
gonna-
both sides, but this is all fantasy makeup stuff.
Well, at least with Richard's plan, there's not a risk of one of the kids dying.
I mean, unless the plane he charters gets too close to the robot.
That's one less ticket that I gotta pay for.
Wow. Wow. But I'm sorry. Richard's plan is
I understand.
So
more
you-
solid than your bottle rockets. When he was like, when you said they shoot out 300 feet, and then we were like, well, wait.
I looked up, rocket launchers, but then the government showed up and busted down the door and told me I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So you had to do bottle rockets.
So I was left with model rocket engines.
That shoot like
Not
200
bottle
feet
rocket.
into the air.
Not bottle rockets, model rocket engines.
Model
Oh.
rocket.
They go hundreds of
Model
feet.
rockets. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, model rocket. Not
Hundreds-
bottle rockets,
hundreds
model
of feet.
rocket.
You know,
Hundreds.
a fifth
Still-
of a mile, and you have 300
So
miles to
I can
shoot.
so I can put several of them on there.
I,
And they fire in sequence.
I still
I
feel
see.
like
See? Yeah.
I still feel like one of the nieces or nephews is going to die on your trip.
No.
It's like the Oregon Trail on the ocean.
Yeah. Dun, dun,
Sorry,
dun,
Billy,
dun.
you have dysentery.
well, I
Chuck
looked
him
up,
overboard.
Somebody got a rattlesnake bite. What in the
In
ocean?
the ocean.
I looked up the cost of buying a used cargo plane. They're expensive.
They are.
More than $200,000, I can tell you that much.
You can get an AN2 Colt from North Korea for probably a couple $1,000.
But then I'd have to pay to either get to North Korea or have it shipped to
Yeah.
me.
It's a wood-bodied, wooden fuselage prop plane that carries like 19 people.
I'm sure that's going to go well on the attack of the robot.
Yeah, that's wood. So is the spruce goose. We know how well that worked out.
It's great.
Yeah.
So Richard is once again the winner
You know-
of the...
You know what this tells me is we need to plan together. Because you had a lot more, intriguing thought into different things. And mine was just like, yeah, I'm going to go this route. Just like
Okay.
like juggernaut bullnose through it. And you're like, okay, I got to think outside the box.
I think
Finesse it a little
next
bit.
time I'll
Mine
put
was
no
also-
connections.
Mine was also much more speculative.
Right.
Assuming that I could do this and assuming I could do that.
That's true.
I'll be fair.
Yeah.
Only because I now know that I won.
I got a little bit of credit. Woohoo!
Yeah. But I think now that we've established that I am 2 for 2 and undefeated, this is probably our exit.
Indeed it
Yeah.
is. Thank you for joining. Bye.